Hello crafters, this is Gareth from G's Creations. Welcome to week number 1 and challenge number 1 with the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board challenge that I'm doing with Amy from Maymay and I. This week I'm going to be making one of these very cute little petal flower boxes. It's actually a sleeve with a box on the inside which you can then put your chocolates in, or ring if you're going to propose, or anything like that, because obviously these are Valentine's themed items, but you could probably use these all throughout the year. We are using non-traditional colours, so I am going to be using, you will need art glitter glue, some ribbon from your stash, and some 6x6 papers. Now I'm using the purple with the firework explosion, or I suppose you could call it, and a yellow 6x6 from Dovecraft. Now we don't need the yellow one just yet because that's for the actual petal outer. I will be doing the inner box first. So you need to start off and line up your 6x6 paper on the 1 7/8, and you punch and you score. You then slide the paper over to 4 1/8, and you punch and you score. Turn it around and do it again. So 1 7/8, punch and score. Slide over to 4 1/8, punch and score. And you go around and you do this on all 4 corners. I'm then going to use the back part and round off my corners. I'm then going to fold all the score lines. Then what you'll need to do is cut. Right, you've got the points. Okay, you've got all the 4 points here. Now you need to cut down on 2 of these sides, because these flats will be going inwards, and then on the opposite side you do the same thing. So I'm going to put that to one side because I no longer need this at the moment. So we're going to move on to the yellow piece of paper, which has just disappeared. Where did you go? There we go. Now on this one you need the colour to be facing your board. Okay, so the colour needs to be facing your board. Now on this one, this is the petal flower sleeve. Okay, you need to have it lined up to the 2-inch mark, and you punch and you score. You then slide it over to the 4-inch and you punch. You only punch, you do not score. And then you repeat it on all 4 sides. So 2-inch, punch and score. Slide over to 4-inch and you just punch. So 2-inch, punch and score. Slide over to 4-inch and punch. Okay, so you end up with that. So I'm just gonna round off my edges. And fold all the creases. Now I've used cardstock which has got colour on one side and white on the inside, and I've done that on purpose. Now you don't have to. You can get some paper that's coloured on both sides, but I chose to do it that way because I am going to be using my Tim Holtz Distress inks and putting a bit of colour on each of the petals, because these here, these triangle pieces, will be the petals. So I'm going to start off with the pink and just put a nice little bit of pink on each of the tips. Make sure I'm in frame, yep. And do the same with the blue. Now you can use any colours you choose. And you can go back and you can add more blue or more pink or whatever colours you choose. And I think I'm going to just go back and add a bit more pink onto the tips, just to blend it slightly better. Oops, that's a lid, who can't get ink out of that. Okay, now as we did with the inner box, we need to cut the mirroring flaps, these pieces here. So cut, and you can obviously use your score lines to guide you. And I am using some of the art glitter glue, and you do this on the pattern side. Because these then flap inwards. You could use ATG, you could use any other double-sided rollable tape that you have, but for me I'm going to be using the glitter glue because it just works that bit better. Let that set for a while, and using a bone folder, or in my case I'm going to be using this, you can just, if you just use your finger and your bone folder just to give them that impression, just to give that idea that they are petals from a flower. So it looks something like that. Now going back to the inner box, you then do the same thing. Oh, as my art glitter glue had a bit of an explosion, I will utilise that. And fold them in. Now on this one, I've just got ribbon going across it. You could also use a hole punch and you give it this kind of a feeling. So let me show you that one. You basically punch a hole, approximately the same depth down on all flaps. You then get your ribbon or twine or whatever you choose to use, and you do it in a number 2 fashion. So you start off with the flap on the right hand, my right hand side, and I go to the one to the front. I get it in the hole. Then the one facing me, and the one at the back. Obviously you can change up the colour depending on who this gift is going to be for. we go, and that fits inside like that. So there we have it, the flower, petal, sleeve and box. Now, as I said, you could probably use these or change the paper and they could be used all year through, but these are for Valentine's Day, so you can fill them up with chocolates, or as I've done in this one, if you're going to make, you know, that special announcement or that special proposal, these are big enough to fit a decent size ring box inside of it. So it'd be a nice way to, you know, propose. Just another idea. So there we have it. This is video number 1. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you again next week with challenge number 2. Thank you now. Bye bye.